I've tried a lot of mobile games over the years and deleted most of them within the first 10 minutes. So when I started seeing ads for Call of Dragons, I assumed it'd be more of the same. Flashy trailers, cool fantasy art, over-the-top behemoth fights, but probably just another grindy pay-to-win war sim underneath. Still, something about it stuck. The scale looked bigger, the battles looked cleaner, and after a couple of friends swore that it was actually legit, I caved. I figured, all right, I'll try it out. Didn't expect much, but now, a couple of weeks in, I've got a city I care about, a hero squad I've been tweaking daily, and an alliance I log in to help out. So if you're on the fence about Call of Dragons, this is my honest breakdown, where it surprised me, where it gets in its own way, and whether it's worth your time in 2025. At first, Call of Dragons feels like every other mobile strategy game. You're dropped into a fantasy kingdom called Tamaris, given a small patch of land, and told to start building. You upgrade your city hall, throw down some barracks, collect wood and mana, train your first troops. The tutorial isn't bad, but it definitely drags. You're on rails for longer than I'd want, with a lot of tap here and upgrade this, before it really lets go of your hand. I almost bailed before it even opened up, but when it did, when the fog lifted on the world map and I started exploring, look, this is not just another recycled base builder. The terrain actually matters. Hills slow you down, forests can block vision, choke points become real strategy zones, especially when alliances start battling for control. Even early on, there's more tactical depth here than I expected. What really surprised me was the rhythm. Call of Dragons does demand your attention 24/7, but it rewards consistency. You log in a few times a day, collect your resources, send your troops on missions, upgrade a few buildings, maybe run a behemoth raid if your alliance is online, and then you can log off. Progress keeps ticking along while you're gone. Troops train, buildings finish, resources stack up. It's one of the few mobile games that doesn't punish you for having a life. Whether I played a lot or just checked in here and there, the game kept moving. I wasn't grinding for hours just to stay caught up. Heroes are a big part of the game, and thankfully they're not just stat cards. Each one has a specific role. Some buff infantry, others specialize in flying units, some are great for PvP, others shine in monster raids. You can level them up, gear them out, unlock talents, and pair them with different army types to change how they perform in battle. I started off just picking the highest level units I had, but the more I played, the more I realized certain combos work better in different situations, like pairing a mobility-focused hero with scouts for rapid gathering, or stacking area of effect damage heroes for behemoth raids. Speaking of which, those behemoth battles, genuinely cool. You fight massive raid bosses with your alliance, coordinate timing, even get to summon them later fight on your side. It's one of the first few features that actually felt different from the usual formula. And then there are the war pets. Bears, Phaedrix, Wyverns, you can tame them, level them, and use them to boost your armies. It's not just a gimmick. Pets actually tweak your strategy and make your army feel like your own. Once you're out on the world map, the game feels big, like actually big. Tamaris is filled with other players, roaming NPCs, hidden loot spots, and zones controlled by top alliances. You can zoom in and out, scout distant targets, teleport your city to a new region. It feels more like an MMO map than a static mobile world, and thankfully the UI supports that. You're never fumbling through tabs or waiting on laggy screens. Everything clicks where it should and runs like it's supposed to. Your quests, events, upgrades, army movement, it's all right there. Even with all the features packed in, the game never feels like a cluttered mess. That goes a long way, especially when things get hectic. It also runs surprisingly smooth even on my older phone. That might sound small, but when other games choke on basic animations, it makes a difference. Now, the big question for any game, how bad is the monetization? Well, look, Call of Dragons is free to download, and you can do a lot without paying. I played completely free for the first few days and didn't feel boxed out. Eventually, I did pick up a $5 bundle just to see what it offered. It gave me a few extra resources, sped up a hero unlock, and boosted my march speed for a while, but it didn't break the game. I still had to play my upgrades, I still lost fights, I still had to grind. That's how most of the paid content works. There's a battle pass, premium hero skins, and larger bundles for serious spenders. But unless you're really trying to climb the PvP ladder, it's more of a convenience than a requirement. And importantly, the game doesn't flood you with pop-ups. You'll see deals, sure, but it's not in your face every 30 seconds. And if you're curious to try it yourself, you'll find the link down below. I downloaded it thinking I'd play for 10 minutes and forget about it. That was 3 weeks ago. Now look, no game's perfect, and Call of Dragons has its fair share of annoyances. The tutorial, like I mentioned, overstays its welcome. You don't really feel free until several hours in. Some hero upgrades start to drag later on, especially once you hit gear bottlenecks or need rare materials. And in PvP, yeah, spenders have a clear advantage. If you're in a newer server or a weaker alliance, expect to get steamrolled now and then. The power gap shows up fast once you hit mid-game. I also ran into a few alliance events that felt half-baked. like objectives that weren't explained well or rewards that didn't really feel worth the effort. None of it ruined the game, just stuff that made me roll my eyes once or twice per session. If you played Game of Thrones Conquest, you're going to recognize the format here. Build a kingdom, collect heroes, join alliances. But that game leans hard on lore. You're there because you love the franchise. Call of Dragons, on the other hand, actually feels like it was built for people who enjoy strategy games. It's got deeper mechanics, more varied content on a world that stands on its own. If you're chasing fan service, Game of Thrones delivers. But if you want a game that actually holds your attention once the novelty wears off, Call of Dragons takes the win. Look, I came in here expecting Call of Dragons to be another flashy disappointment. What I found was a well-made, surprisingly deep mobile game that respects your time and gives you more than enough to chew on. It's not revolutionary, but it doesn't need to be. It's smooth, flexible, genuinely fun, especially if you're into building teams, managing armies, and watching giant monsters stomp across a battlefield. If you're curious, you'll find the link in the description. Take a few minutes, try it out, explore the map a little, see if it clicks for you like it did for me. And if you're already playing, drop a comment. I'd love to hear how your alliance is doing or what heroes you're using. If this breakdown helped, hit that like button, subscribe for more reviews, and I'll catch you in the next one.